Hello there. Welcome to another talk, another meditation. And this talk is called Be in the Absolute Peace Within the Present Moment. And that's very important, because if you're in absolute, I do these breathing exercises in the mornings. I didn't do them today. I'm not doing them tomorrow, but I'm back on Friday. I just felt like I wanted to give myself a little rest. But in part of this breathing thing that I do, it involves so much things. One of the things it involves is meditation, and in that meditation, it takes you to absolute presence. The meditation it's called, I made it up or downloaded it, 6 minute meditation, where you think of nothing for 5 minutes, then in the six minute, you just pay attention to how you feel, and you notice the thinking of nothing as took you to presence. And within that, you notice the absolute peace, right, that's there. And other things will arise like euphoria, orgasmicness, and that's the core essence of who you are. Like, there is indoctrinations and things and lies and rubbish out there that they don't even know what they're saying. Things like anti-chakra, anti-tantric awareness, and these people don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're saying. And it's like a few people start something and the rest just repeat it. That's what it is. That's what they do, and it's not true. The core, it's not true. This is why, when it comes to sex, this is why when it comes to things like that it is perverted. It's perverted for a very important reason. To pervert your minds and distort your minds. I won't get in trouble for saying this because I'm not talking about like climate change or COVID-19 or anything like that. And the people that control, or the AI isn't programmed to knowing what the system's really against. And I've said it before now, a lot of people may, I've not heard anybody say this apart from myself, but I believe that I'm absolutely right, and I believe that what the system, the 1% I'm talking about, the people that are more spiritually aware, I believe what they're trying to stop is the twin flames, is the ascension, is people becoming who they truly are, because that would mean them kind of people can't be controlled. Now, I won't get in trouble for saying that, because you won't get in trouble for saying that. You're only getting in trouble if you're talking about, like, viruses, vaccines, and all that kind of stuff. But that's really a distraction. This peace in the present moment, that is the hack into who you truly are. And the tantric awareness and sexuality is related to it, because you are, at your core, you are just love awareness. You are loving awareness, right? You are heart. You are that energy. And in that is bliss, euphoria, is presence, is stillness, is peace, is aliveness, and sexual energy, radiant sexual energy. And that's what really will ascend us. And it's all about suppressing that energy. It's all about suppressing presence. So you create a reality that is erratic, that is very narcissistic, very paranoid. And that's ultimately, what the system at its core does. It creates a situation. A symbolic of it is a bit like a football match where you gather everyone round to watch, or and then it programs them. That's like a metaphor for what I'm talking about. That's what the system does. It gathers the sheeple round. That's why television and media is important. I've said this before, and I actually got some stick a few years ago for saying it, that, when I said good things about Fox News. And that's because Fox News reports what's going on. You can watch Fox News. I'm not going to say what not to watch, but I'm just saying, I don't agree with everything Fox News says, but I do keep up to date with what they're saying because they do report what's happening in the world. And that is the job. That is their job. Simple as that, right? But I'm not political. I'm not going to get into any political things or anything like that. But if you want to keep in contact with the Matrix and what's happening in the Matrix, watch Fox News. But ultimately, you can if you want to. You can probably watch any news channel. But the real thing to focus on is this inner pathway. You see? And that's why I realised a few years ago, I was getting a few strikes on the internet, and it dawned on me that I had this unexpected spiritual awakening to talk about all the stuff I get information on. So I stopped. I've never been political anyway. I'm not political. It's not. And I was going into areas that I did know what I was talking about, but I don't get knowledge on it. I get information downloads, and I think it was like an ego thing. I think it was it became like an ego thing where and I returned to my spiritual awakening pathway, and now I don't get political. I watch Fox News, you might watch CNN, the other person might watch, and that's it. But maybe we watch these things because it brings us comfort. It might be comfort to see what's happening in the world. And comfort plays a big part in the present moment, because when you're in comfort, you're in peace. And that's where ascension can take place, you see. You see, a lot of people, they downplay comfort. But when you're in absolute comfort, it's like being wrapped up in a blanket and comfortable. That's when you're in absolute peace. That's when you're in absolute presence. That's when you're enjoying the present moment. And that's when you become a manifester. You see? So somewhere within absolute comfort, that's where the ascension can take place. Like on the spiritual pathway of mine, it started with an awakening, and it was basically telling me, guiding me to just make myself comfortable. Do what feels good to you. And then that's when the ascension happens. Joy and bliss and comfort is the quickest way to ascension. We always get told to go out of our comfort zone, but when you're in absolute peace and comfort, and that's when you're fully present, when you're in joy, and that's when you're accessing the core essence of who you are. And then what you'll notice is when you're in this comfort pathway, that puts you into presence, and then you start letting go of external things. So that's why, not long ago in this talk I mentioned, if you watch news, because things like that can be done for comfort. And then what you'll find is you'll do it less and less. This is what happened to me on my awakening. I mean, I used to watch soap operas years ago, many years ago, and don't do that at all now. The only thing I watch is, I'm mum's registered carer, so I get up very early, and at 4 o'clock, our alarm goes off at 4, but I press snooze for 25 minutes, then I get up at 4:25. Because I'm mum's care, do a lot of job, but I watch things on YouTube, very positive motivational speakers. But yeah, before my spiritual awakening, I used to drink alcohol, take drugs, watch soap operas and things that everyone else does, basically. So you can imagine how crazy it was when the spiritual awakening happened, the first big one. It was a shock, and a total transformation. Now I don't drink alcohol, supplements now, medicine, complementary medicine is good, and the spiritual pathway changed it all. And what the spiritual awakening pathway has took me to ultimately is a lot of healing, but ultimately it's taken you to presence. Because within the peace, within the present moment, that is where your core essence is. Within there is an ecstasy, a euphoria. That's why, in my opinion, they don't like us taking certain drugs. Because they're too much of a reminder of source. The feelings or the energies are too similar. And that's why, because the pharmaceutical industry can make up any drug they want, and if they're demonizing it, that's because they don't want you to experience that. But you don't have to have a drug, to do it. You can use complementary medicines, but that and within work is great, but don't think there's a magic pill or anything, because certain complementary medicines or healing techniques are good to complement your journey, but ultimately you must be doing the inner work also, because one just defeats the other. So it's about the inner work, and then that will take you to presence. Eventually what happens is you let things go, you let stuff go, you heal, you change because you're healing. And ultimately this has happened around the whole planet as a whole. There's a mass Kundalini awakening happening. You see, and the people that are going through these unexpected spiritual awakenings, they are the leaders of the new earth. And this new earth will be a more higher energy, a Kundalini tantric awareness, the twin flames reuniting and soulmates and all that stuff is part of it. Because your return to source, and within source is peace, is presence, is euphoria, is ecstasy, orgasmicness. There's videos on the internet of women having energy orgasms. That's what we're returning to. That's our core essence. And that has been hidden from us, that has been distorted and perverted, as I was saying earlier. And the people that are having these spiritual awakenings now, they are the real spiritual teachers of this new earth. And that's why this craziness happening on the planet. It's a backlash, because the other energy, it's all part of the same God. But it all has to happen so that in the future, we can understand it. We had to go through all this bad stuff for the healing and the ascension. It's all part of it. But I'm just going to leave it there. For latest updates, talks, news, research, songs and much, much more, please do check my website at www.lovelightfamily.com. Also, if you'd like to donate, My Cash App cash tag, and you can give anything, I don't mind, is # Love Light Family 1111. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Thank you.